music has always just been like a deep passion for each of us, that I don't think any of us have put too much pressure on. It's just something we would do whether we had, fans or not, or people listening, paying us, coming to shows or not. Hey, it's Cannons, and this is SoundAdvice.
So we started. We were neighbors growing up, so we kind of always, just jammed in garage band kind of stuff. And I think it was about 10 years ago. Paul and I were writing some music, and we thought the music was pretty saucy, but we didn't think that we could front the band. So we found Michelle on Craigslist. And in the beginning, and kind of still to this day, I think like any band, it'll start with a riff or a melody, and we'll just send it back and forth to each other. And we kind of all are able to work from home, which is cool. Before we actually all got together, we never met her for a month. We were just sending her songs, and we heard her vocals on it and thought they were beautiful. And it's kind of just been like that ever since. He'll have an idea, she'll have an idea, we'll have an idea, and we'll just email them back and forth to each other.
So that was 10 years ago when I used Craigslist for everything at the time. Not so much now. It's been a while. But I moved to Los Angeles, and I was new to the area, so went there, and I just had a photo of myself, music that I really liked. Said I was looking to start a band, and I put a link to some songs on SoundCloud, or maybe I sent it to you guys. I don't know what I did.
You can search for similar words and stuff on Craigslist. There was a band that we both had a mutual interest in, and I typed them in, and coincidentally she had put them as an influence. So I think that's kind of what tied it all together. But they're called Trust. They're like a darkwave band from Seattle, I think. And I was like, wow, it's kind of an obscure band too. And she didn't live very far from where I worked, so everything just worked out.
Collaboration process, we usually just sit in a room and then riff ideas from each other. She'll come up with something and be like, oh, that's cool. Let's put that here. Let's come up with something here. It's pretty collaborative, I feel like. Mm-hmm. More than most bands, to be honest. I think we're pretty easygoing, and if somebody has a better idea, we don't have any ego about it or anything like that. So
I think we just chose some of our favorite songs, or songs that we were listening to at the time, and songs that we had started to cover and never finished, and then Cannons fans had been begging us to finish and release. So that's a good question. Okay, Paul has one.
Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to
I would love to cover that. Yeah, sync has been a really important thing to us since the beginning. So right when we started, the first thing that we would do was upload it to SoundCloud. We'd make a song and then we'd put it up on SoundCloud that night or the next day. And we kept doing that. Over the first summer we were together, and all of a sudden we started getting syncs naturally just by putting songs out there nonstop. That first summer we had HBO sync for that show Ballers. I know Kendall and Kylie used us for their bathing suit line, and then fans started coming in through those syncs, and then eventually when Never Have I Ever used Fire for You, that completely changed our lives, because the next day the song went up to the top of #1 for Shazam and Billboard TV and song charts, and then we started meeting with labels and signed with Columbia and have been just touring and writing since. Our music is always used in very sexy scenes for some reason. I'll see it say even on the screen in quotes sensual pop. So I think people always think to use Cannon's music for those scenes. We have been working with Position Music for the past like 7 years, which they do a lot of our syncs and know, I think where to put it, position our music and everything.
I think in the beginning it was all very organic.
Very organic.
I think we're
Yeah.
just happy for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like not worried about like how much we got paid or nothing. Just like, oh, this is cool. Exposure.
We were happy to hear our songs like super faintly in the back for like 3 seconds in the beginning, but and ever since it's just been now to the point where it's like the whole song's being used. Or even last week I saw a show on HBO where they used 2 Canon songs and they were very loud. Yeah. I think that streaming should probably be paid more. I mean, when I do look at the numbers, it seems like 0.00008 cents or something. So I think that makes it really hard for artists to be able to live off of their art and be able to tour, and that makes me really sad. And it does seem like touring is becoming more of like a privilege for people that have a hand up in the music industry rather than, you know, people who have really good music that should be toured. So yeah, just making sure that there's like funds for artists that really are talented, especially because we are a band that like everything has been super DIY since the beginning. I feel like we're in a position now we're with Columbia, and like that's really amazing, and like we're so grateful for it, but our hearts do feel for everyone that doesn't have that kind of like tour support and stuff like that, because there was no way when we started as a band that we were going to be able to like tour the US on you know, streaming money. So music has always just been like a deep passion for each of us, that I don't think any of us have put too much pressure on. It's just something we would do whether we had, you know, fans or not, or people listening, paying us, coming to shows or not. We all had full-time jobs for a long time and would work, you know, I think you'd get up at like 6 a.m. to go to work. We'd all get off at like 6 p.m. and then we'd meet up in Paul's studio and we would use whatever we had at the time to write all of our albums. So, you know, our Shadows album, that was all written, recorded, produced by us in like Paul's studio with probably broken mics and like not the best gear at the time, broken certain things.
I would say
Your mics aren't broken, Paul.
No,
it's basically the same thing we do now with slightly better equipment.
better equipment, yeah. But we did learn how to like do everything ourselves and figure out how to make things from what they call like, I guess, bedroom production kind of stuff, make it sound like a yeah. Mm-hmm.
Outside of our music too, like our aesthetic we've kind of created as well. Like Michelle will go home and do mood boards for music videos and our merch. So
yeah.
it's a do-it-yourself kind of operation.
Yeah, we do feel like, you know, if you really love something like we do, this project is no one's going to care more than you do. Yeah. So we do like to dive into like each aspect of the live performance, the music videos, the photo shoots, the
control freaks.
The production, the mixing, the mastering, the writing. Yeah, all of it. We love it. SoundExchange is something that we found out from our manager, John Siebels, right? Yeah. And at first we didn't
Know what it was.
No, yeah, we didn't understand that, like, we didn't know about all these different types of royalties and stuff that were existing and floating around. So hearing about it was really exciting for us. So we were like, cool, that's awesome, okay. And then, yeah, he helped sign us up and get us in with SoundExchange, and it's been incredible for us and very beneficial, and we love SoundExchange. I think the best one, which I always try to remind myself all the time, was just from our manager. He just said something very simple, which is just to always remember to have fun, because it can get very stressful with like the traveling, the shows, the schedules and stuff, that it can become very stressful, but it's also such an incredible opportunity that I have to like kind of go back into and be like, this is so cool, and like remind myself to like look around and take in the experiences and have a good time, you know?
A teacher from my community college told me, work with what you have. Don't wait until you get like a certain piece of gear. Like you're like, oh, I can't do this until I have this guitar, this bass or whatever. Just work with what you have, and like that's gonna be, you know, like always beneficial to you. I feel like, and I've used that advice ever since.
I think just if you're a musician, just like what you write, and don't try not to follow trends. Just enjoy, the process of creating music. Do it for yourself, not because there's a trend of, because they're fads. It's going to be here one week and gone the next, and then you'll end up in a vicious cycle trying to chase your tail. So I think just be genuine.
Do you want to explain?
I love when you explain what are the odds.
Okay, so I only started playing What Are the Odds recently. It was happening all around me, and then I was like, I guess I got to get in on this. So basically, someone will come up with, I guess maybe you'll call it like a dare. Yeah. So what are the odds? What are the chances that you would do this and this, right? And then you decide the numbers. So if you really don't want to do it, you can say 1 to 1,000,000. And then the other person will say, okay, and they'll count down from 3. You say the number, they'll say the number. If they guess your number, you have to do it. Yep.
What's the last one that you guys did together?
I had to throw a piece of bread at someone on our crew. It's a soft piece of bread.
Pardon?
Do what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can I do one with you?
Yeah.
What should I do?
You'll think of a good one.
What are the odds you come on stage tonight and you sing Fire For You with us? 1 in 10? All right, so at the count of 3, you say your number, and if it lands, you have to do it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 6.
Oh my.
Odds master.